Towering above Washington state, Mount Rainier is a place of staggering natural beauty: glaciers, waterfalls, forests, and sweeping alpine views. But for some who enter, it's also the last place they're ever seen. Photographers, professors, hikers, climbers, people of all ages and backgrounds have vanished here, leaving behind cars, gear, and lives interrupted. No clues, no goodbyes, just gone. What is it about Mount Rainier that swallows people whole? Welcome back to Missing Persons Archives, where we explore real-life cases of people who have vanished without a trace. These stories are not just mysteries. They are open wounds, unanswered questions, and calls to remember. Today, we're diving deep into the strange and chilling disappearances that have occurred in and around Mount Rainier National Park. Mount Rainier is the tallest mountain in Washington state, an active stratovolcano rising 14,411 feet into the sky, surrounded by over 236,000 acres of wilderness. It's a place known for natural beauty and breathtaking vistas, but it's also become known for something far more disturbing: unsolved disappearances. People who go missing here often do so under circumstances that defy logic, search efforts, and, in many cases, reality. Let's start with the case of Chet Hansen. On November 11, 1997, 27-year-old photographer and outdoorsman Chet Hansen set out for a short solo hike along the Deer Creek Falls trailhead. He brought along 35 pounds of camera gear, planning to capture some of the park's scenery and be home in time for dinner. The trail was easy. The weather was perfect. There was no reason to expect anything unusual. Chet never came back. The next day, when he failed to show up for his job at Alaska Airlines, he was reported missing. His car was found parked at the trailhead. Inside were his keys, glasses case, photo negatives, and paperwork. But there was no sign of Chet or his expensive camera equipment. The only clue came from a hiker who claimed to have seen him that day at Shriner Peak around noon. Rangers launched a massive search with helicopters, volunteers, and tracking dogs. Yet the dogs couldn't even pick up a scent. Chet, it seemed, had simply evaporated. Not a single piece of gear has ever been recovered. Case 2, Joseph Joe Wood, 1999. Fast forward to July 8, 1999. Journalist Joseph Joe Wood, 34 years old and a former editor at the Village Voice, drove to Mount Rainier to birdwatch and hike. He never returned. His rental car was later found in the official parking lot, undisturbed. That's where the trail ended. A witness, hiker Bruce Gaumond, later reported encountering Joe on the Rampart Ridge Trail. They spoke briefly, and Bruce recalled Joe asking when the snow-covered section of trail would end. They hiked together for a short time until Bruce turned back. Joe continued forward, undeterred. He was never seen again. Search teams covered the area by foot and air. Helicopters and scent tracking dogs were deployed. Later, once the snow melted, searchers returned. Still, nothing. No gear, no body, no trace. Joe Wood simply vanished into one of the busiest national parks in the country. Case 3, Eric Lewis, 2010. In one of the most baffling Mount Rainier cases ever recorded, Eric Lewis, 57, vanished on July 1, 2010, during a climbing expedition on the Gibraltar Ledges route. He was an experienced climber ascending toward the summit with two companions, Don Storm Jr. and Trevor Lane. The group had tethered themselves together for safety due to high winds and poor visibility. At around 13,900 feet, the trio paused to regroup. But when the others pulled the rope to connect with Eric, he was no longer attached. In his place was a butterfly knot, suggesting Eric had unclipped or cut himself free. Why? That question has never been answered. The other climbers had seen him only moments before. They immediately searched the area. No trace. No fall. No sounds. Rangers quickly joined the effort. They found some of Eric's gear, including a harness, backpack, and shovel, stashed inside a snow cave at 13,600 feet. But there were no tracks leading away, no blood, no distress signal, just silence. Why would a seasoned mountaineer detach himself during one of the most dangerous stretches of the climb without alerting his team? It's a question that haunts many to this day. Case 4. Sam Dubil, 2020. On October 9, 2020, 33-year-old Dr. Sam Dubil, a respected anthropologist and professor at the University of Washington, set out alone to hike the Mother Mountain Loop Trail near Lake Mowich. He told friends he'd return the next day. He never did. Sam had experience hiking in remote terrain all over the world. He was well prepared with supplies, a working cell phone, and was in excellent health. Other hikers reported seeing him along the trail that day. He was calm, friendly, and showed no signs of distress. The only thing ever found was an empty water bottle discovered eerily along the route. Despite extensive searches by the National Park Service, military aircraft, dogs, and drones, nothing else was ever located. His phone was never turned on again. He simply vanished. Case 5, Karen Sykes, 2014. Not all of the missing stay missing, but even when bodies are recovered, the questions sometimes grow deeper. On June 14, 2014, 70-year-old writer and expert hiker Karen Sykes ventured onto the Ojai Lakes Trail with her boyfriend Greg Johnston. Karen was a well-known hiking journalist and in excellent health. At around 5,000 feet, she told Greg she was going to scout ahead and would be right back. She never returned. When Greg couldn't find her, he contacted authorities. 6 ground teams, 2 K-9 units, and an aircraft scoured the area. Nothing was found until 3 days later. Karen's body was discovered far off trail in rugged, hard-to-reach terrain. She had no reason to be there. The coroner listed her cause of death as hypothermia, complicated by a heart condition, though there were no injuries or signs of struggle. She had been well dressed for the weather, and she had told her partner she'd only be gone for a moment. What could have lured such an experienced hiker so far off her route, and why? Mount Rainier is not the only wilderness area known for disappearances, but it's one of the most persistent. Each case we've covered today shares a common thread: missing time, missing logic, missing evidence. Many of the people who vanish here do so despite ideal weather, good preparation, and familiarity with the terrain. So what's happening? Some point to the dangers of the wilderness itself: hidden crevasses, sudden weather changes, wildlife, and exhaustion. Others suggest something more elusive, like disorientation, mental health episodes, or even supernatural explanations. From cryptids and the missing 411 phenomena to theories involving time slips and fae folklore, speculation is rampant. And while some theories are far-fetched, the sheer number of strange disappearances in areas like Rainier continues to raise questions. Why are so many never found? Why are search dogs often unable to track them? Why are some of those who do reappear found in impossible locations? These are the mysteries that keep us looking and questioning. Mount Rainier is beautiful, but for some, it's also final. These are not just wilderness accidents or fluke tragedies. These are people, real people, who left behind lives, families, and questions that still echo across the mountain. If you have any theories, ideas, or if you knew someone who disappeared in or around Mount Rainier, we encourage you to share in the comments below. As always, we read everything, and every voice helps keep these stories alive. Thank you for watching Missing Persons Archives. Please like, share, and subscribe if you want to help bring light to the lost. Until next time, stay aware, stay safe, and never forget the missing.